Good morning, friends. My name's Justin. Welcome to my channel. Today I am continuing this song that is being tracked remotely. In the last video we started talking about the breakdown of a remote session or the anatomy of a remote session, and I laid some guitars, some acoustics and electrics according to all of the info given to me by the producer, and I sent those tracks off to a drummer to record live drums. If you remember, the vibe was Brothers Osborne. I think Brothers Osborne meets Chris Stapleton, you know, very organic. When I hear those names, I think no loops, no like big synth sounds or 808 drums or trap hats or you know, all that stuff that it feels like we've grossly overused lately. But I think it's an organic Americana-based band, and this song's kind of got a heavy E minor vibe, you know, and it's going to lean a little rock, but from the context of, like, again, a Brothers Osborne or Chris Stapleton Americana kind of band. So I sent off acoustics and electrics to the drummer, and I played rhythm electrics, right? And this is an important thing, and it took me a while to learn as a session player. I'm thinking so much in terms of melodies that it's hard for me to not want to go there first on my first pass. So on a session, you know, with a band, there's a drummer in the room, there's a bass player, there's me, there's an acoustic guy, there's a keyboard player. The drummer, in order to do his very best, he wants to feel like everybody's joining him in rhythm world, right? And so when I take my first pass and I play all the sig lick and fills and stuff, there's an excitement that adds when you do it on your first pass, I think, and that's what I was going for. But I have learned in my time doing this that it's actually more important for me to support the drummer in rhythm world, right? And for me to play low slung chords, big rock rhythm guy stuff. That helps him lay his pass, all right? Pretty much everybody prefers that. Whether I'm working with Miles or Evan or Near or, gosh, there's so many drummers. Chris McHugh, Sean Victor, Jason Cheek, Phil Lawson, loads of amazing drummers. And actually, the guy that did the drums on this is Phil. He plays on the road with Kelsey Ballerini, but he also does a lot of tracking in town. He's one of the new upcoming session guys, and he really does have a handle on the pop world. That's how he just crushes the Kelsey gig night after night. But he also is a great feeling and exciting drummer and is just a really great player. So I thought that he would be a good fit for this. And he was. His tracks sound awesome. You're going to hear it. And so let's dig back into this song. I have a couple more guitar parts to add, but before that, I'm also the bass player on this track. I don't take that lightly. I think guitar players in general overestimate their ability to be great bass players when it is a wildly different instrument and a wildly different role that is played in the band. I mean, if you're going to play with a pick and just downstroke rock and roll, like, great. But if you're going to do what bass players need to do, where they're locking in with the drums, where, you know, they are as much a part of the drum kit as they are a part of the harmonic information and kind of supporting what the chord changes are. The bass is wildly important in a song. And so I'm going to play something very simple and very, you know, really just trying to lock into the pocket of the drums, and we'll see how it goes. You know, I'm not ever going to tell anybody that I'm a bass player, but when somebody wants me to produce a track from scratch or build a song from scratch, I kind of want to be as much of a one-stop shop as possible, you know. That's why I have a bunch of acoustic instruments. I have guitars, I've got a banjo, I've got a mandolin, I've got a resonator guitar that I play slide on, but I'll use dobro tuning and sort of, you know, fake a dobro. Like, real dobro players are, you know, legit and worth their weight in gold. But if somebody's wanting just sort of those flavors and those textures, then I'm offering a lot just from my home spot. So let's do a bass track. I'm going to wear cans, I'm going to mute my speakers, and I'm going to pick up a bass. Now, you'll remember that this song was in the key of G from the last video, and I'm going to play it in the key of G, but I tuned the bass down a whole step. And I've got a question for you guys. I want to see if you can tell me why I did that. Like, why am I playing a whole step down in the key of G on a bass? So instead of E, A, D, G, it's D, G, C, F, okay? So here comes the song. Here we go. Bass. Okay, one spot that felt a little strange was the solo bridge. I just want to dig in more. I feel like I had one note in there that just sort of rushed. Let me see if it did. Yeah, I'm leaning forward a little bit. One more on that. Again. Awesome. I'm going to pick up a guitar. I think it is good on bass. And let's add some guitar. So just hearing the whole thing with drums and with bass, I feel like, you know, it's only got 2 electric guitars on it right now. It's got the Tele and the Gold Top Les Paul. And in the intro and turnaround and outro, they're both just playing that. I'm terrible at singing. This is not an instrument that I practice. But what I notice is there's no low-end beef that's supporting those sections in the song. So I feel like another guitar that's kind of playing low-slung stuff there. And maybe even in the chorus, because I think the Tele is playing higher voicings. It's not like real high. I don't know that this song needs a real high, like ambient, chimey energy track. Like with the angle that we're going for and the references given by the producer, that would feel a little counterproductive to me to have like a high delay guy or something on the choruses. So let me just see. I'm going to grab a guitar. Be right back. All right, so I'm back with my Jazzmaster. By the way, on that bass track, first of all, tell me in the comments, why did I tune the bass down a whole step to play that in the key of G? Second thing about the bass, I was just going direct into the front of my TG2. I have 1/4 inch inputs, DI inputs on the TG2. And so I just turned the preamp gain up a little bit and got a really gnarly, fat, but not too dark P-bass sound. I like it. And I did not use any compression. Sometimes it's nice to play with on a bass, you know. I know a lot of people who do it who have a fairly, you know, they build an entire signal chain out of a lunchbox with some different, you know, pre-compressor, EQ, whatever, some stuff in it. But for me, I just, again, I like real simple. It's more about the source for me than building a complicated signal chain. And then, you know, I don't want to back whoever's mixing this into a corner. They may have a recipe that they really like for bass when they go to mix. And if I give them something that's already compressed and already whatever, you know, has all this other stuff on it, it might make their job more difficult. So I'm sending as raw of a track as I can. So let's add a guitar part. This is my Jazzmaster. I'm going into the Analog Outfitter Sarge. I have a little bit of boost from the tilt pedal from old Sean Tubbs Overdrive. What a great sound. It really does sound awesome. And I'm going to play a solo on the way by, but I'm also going to fill in some low rhythm information where I think it needs it. And we'll see. I chose the Jazzmaster because of the reference. More Americana. Stapleton leans pretty heavily on a Jazzmaster live, you know. So I think this would be good. So let's do this. I'm going to just change a couple things here real quick. Make sure that I am record enabled. Turn recording off for the bass. Goodness. Don't want to track over that. Here we go. I tried to go back to the 6th chord. Let's hop in right there. I like how this feels. Oh man, I love the spirit of that solo, but let's do one more. I'll check my tuning. I stepped on a slapback and on the overdrive side of the tilt, so both sides of the tilt are on for the solo. And the solo guy continues through the bridge and just sort of plays in holes, you know, of the vocal, in between vocal phrases. So I'll play a solo that was very similar to that. Maybe it lands a little better for me into the bridge. Okay, I'm leaving it. I like it. And just, you know, instead of continuing to roll, since I can, and there's not a whole band taking a pass with me, you know, at this point there wouldn't be anyway. I would have laid 2 rhythm tracks and it'd be me and maybe the acoustic guy playing another part at this point on the session. But this is a remote session. We're not talking about an in-studio session live tracking with the band. That's a different video. So let's get in and finish the track out. Very cool. You'll notice something. In my pattern on the intro and the turn and the outro, I'm going big diamond, 3, 4, diamond, 2, 3, 4, diamond, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I'm making a 2-bar pattern out of it because the drums are doing that, okay? When we get to bars 2 and 4 of that intro, turn, outro progression, the drums are playing a little bit of a fill within the pattern that turns us back around to the E minor chord. So over the G, I feel like emphasizing the backbeat on the 4th beat really helps that. That's just, at this point, that's just natural to me, you know? When I'm playing, it just sort of falls into place, but it's extremely effective. There's so many little subtle things that are extremely effective in what we're doing, right? I'm going to try some other part that maybe has some delay things, but I don't want it to be all pretty. It could be cool, you know. We shall see. Oh, goodness. That already sounds like way too much, but let's see what happens here. This will be on the choruses. I just don't know. I just don't know. Maybe it needs to be more percussive. Let's just go clean. From the first chorus. Too much gain. Too much gain for verse 2. One more. Let's get in on that walk. Is that cool in the bridge? One more. Yeah, I think just quarters. I forgot my part. Instead of the hammer on, I just play a rake the top end. Just the top 3 strings. Cool. Awesome. All right. I'm going to turn this in and see what they say. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.